Hello guys, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently. Picture this. Two people start their mornings differently. One hits snooze 3 times, rushes out the door with a cup of coffee, and spends the day overwhelmed. The other wakes up 10 minutes earlier, drinks a glass of water, writes down 3 priorities, and starts the day focused. A small difference, right? But fast forward 6 months, one feels stuck, the other is thriving. What made the difference? A small habit. We often think of success as something grand, achieving a major milestone, landing a dream job, launching a business, or writing a bestseller. But the truth is, success rarely happens overnight. In fact, real lasting success is built quietly, not through massive leaps, but through small, repeated steps. This is the power of habits, not the big flashy ones, but the tiny routines we barely notice. Brushing your teeth, choosing water over soda, reading a page a night, saving $1 a day. These actions don't seem like much, but they are the hidden engines of transformation. The problem is we often underestimate small actions. If we don't see instant results, we assume they're not working. But success works like planting seeds. You water them daily even when there's no sign of growth. Eventually the roots take hold, and then one day you see a sprout. That's how small habits work. They take time, but once they gain momentum, the results can be extraordinary. In this series, Small Habits, Big Success, the secret of lasting success, we'll dive into how the smallest changes in our daily routines can lead to profound long-term impact. We'll explore the psychology and science behind how habits form, how to build habits that stick without relying on willpower, how to stay consistent even when life gets busy, and finally, how to turn your habits into a sustainable system for growth and achievement. Whether you want to improve your health, relationships, finances, or mindset, the key is not in sudden transformation, it's in showing up every single day for the small stuff. Because small habits are not just routines, they are votes for the person you want to become. By the end of this journey, you'll realize that you don't need a total life overhaul to succeed. You just need to start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. Because the secret of lasting success isn't magic, it's mastery of the small things. So let's begin with the first and most important lesson: why small habits hold more power than you've ever imagined. Good morning/afternoon/evening, everyone. Let me begin with a simple question. Have you ever looked at someone successful and wondered, how do they do it? Maybe it's someone who always seems calm, fit, productive, financially stable, like they've got everything under control. It's tempting to think they've got some secret formula, or maybe they're just lucky. But here's the truth most people overlook. It's not what they do once that makes them successful. It's what they do daily. Big success doesn't start with big moves. It begins with small, often invisible actions that compound over time. This is the power of small habits. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people who are nearly identical. Same job, same age, same income, same lifestyle. One of them decides to cut just 100 calories a day. That's maybe a small spoon of sugar in your coffee or half a cookie. The other changes nothing. After a week, there's no noticeable difference. After a month, still no big change. But fast forward 18 months and that first person has lost over 10 pounds. Not by dieting, not by starving, but by doing one small thing consistently. Now think about how that applies to every other part of life. Reading 1 page a day, saving just $1 a day, practicing gratitude for 2 minutes, writing down one idea. On their own, these actions seem so small they feel insignificant. But when you stick to them, they stack up like bricks in a wall until one day you realize you've built something strong and lasting. This is what author James Clear calls the compound effect of habits. Just like money earns interest, your habits compound over time. A 1% improvement each day doesn't seem like much, but over a year that adds up to being 37 times better. Imagine being 37 times more focused, more disciplined, more confident, just because you chose to get 1% better every day. Now here's where most people go wrong. They look for overnight results. They say, I went to the gym for a week, I don't see a six-pack. I started writing every day, but I haven't published anything yet. And so they quit. But success is like a slow cooker, not a microwave. It simmers beneath the surface until one day it boils over. That's when everyone notices, but they didn't see the hours, days, months of small efforts that made it happen. Let me share something personal. Years ago, I wanted to become a better speaker. I thought I needed to take a big course, maybe spend a lot of money. But I started with one small habit. I stood in front of the mirror for 2 minutes every day and practiced one line. Just one line. It felt silly, but over time I added more. 2 lines became 5. 5 minutes became 10. Eventually I gained confidence, and today I'm speaking to you not because I made one big leap, but because I took hundreds of small steps. Here's the big takeaway. Small habits don't just change your outcomes, they change your identity. Every time you show up, you reinforce a belief about yourself. I'm the kind of person who reads. I'm the kind of person who eats healthy. I'm the kind of person who eats healthy. I'm the kind of person who saves money. And the more you reinforce that identity, the more natural those actions become. You're not forcing change, you're becoming the change. So if you're sitting here thinking, I don't know where to start, let me tell you, start small. Not with a massive goal, but with a mini action. Want to get fit? Start with one push-up. Want to write a book? Start with one sentence. Want to grow your business? Start by reaching out to one person a day. Because that small habit, it's not small, it's a seed. And like any seed, when you water it daily, it grows roots, it grows strength, and eventually it grows results. As we move forward in this series, I want you to remember this: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If you can master the small things, the big things will take care of themselves. So today, ask yourself, what small habit can I start that my future self will thank me for? Thank you. Hello again, everyone. In part 1, we talked about the power of small habits, how tiny, consistent actions can lead to massive, lasting success over time. But knowing the value of small habits is only the beginning. Today, let's talk about something even more important: how to build habits that stick. Because let's be honest, starting is easy. We've all had moments where we felt motivated. You buy a new planner and swear you'll stay organized. You join a gym and promise yourself this time it's different. You commit to waking up early, eating better, saving more. And maybe you follow through for a few days, maybe even a couple of weeks. But eventually life gets in the way. The planner gathers dust. The gym card stays in your wallet. That early morning alarm becomes your worst enemy. Sound familiar? The truth is, motivation fades. But habits, real habits, the ones that last, don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. And if we want habits to stick, we need to build them in a way that makes them almost impossible to fail. So how do we do that? Let's break it down with a concept from behavioral science known as the habit loop. This loop has 3 parts. Cue, the trigger that starts the behavior routine; the actual habit or behavior reward, the benefit you get from completing it. Let's take an example. You walk into your kitchen in the morning and see your coffee mug next to the machine. That's the cue. You make coffee, that's the routine. You drink it and feel alert, that's the reward. Once this loop is repeated enough, it becomes automatic. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. That's the goal with any habit. Now let me give you 4 powerful strategies to build habits that actually stick. 1. Make it obvious. If a habit is out of sight, it's out of mind. So place visual reminders in your environment. Want to drink more water? Put a bottle on your desk. Want to journal at night? Keep your notebook on your pillow. Want to work out in the morning? Lay out your clothes the night before. Your environment should support your habits, not challenge them. 2. Make it easy. Here's a game-changing truth. You don't need to do a lot. You just need to show up. Don't try to run 5 miles on day 1. Put on your shoes and walk around the block. Don't try to meditate for 20 minutes. Start with 1 minute. Make your habits so simple, so small that it feels silly not to do it. Why? Because consistency is more important than intensity. 3. Make it satisfying. Your brain loves rewards. Give it a reason to look forward to the habit. Cross off a day on a calendar after you complete the habit. Use a habit tracking app. See your progress grow. Celebrate your effort, even if it's tiny. The key is to make the habit feel good, so you want to come back to it. 4. Stack it with an existing habit. This is called habit stacking, and it's incredibly effective. You link a new habit to something you already do. For example, after I brush my teeth, I'll do 10 push-ups. After I make coffee, I'll write down 3 things I'm grateful for. After I get home from work, I'll read 1 page of a book. By anchoring your new habit to an existing one, you make it easier to remember and repeat. Now let's talk about identity. This might be the most powerful idea of all. When you're trying to build a habit, don't focus on the outcome. Focus on who you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I'm becoming a runner. Instead of, I want to write a book, say, I'm a writer. Your actions are a vote for the kind of person you believe you are. The more you cast those votes, the stronger that identity becomes. And once a habit becomes part of your identity, it's no longer a struggle. You don't have to do it. You just do because it's who you are. So to summarize, make your habit obvious. Make it easy. Make it satisfying. Attach it to something you already do. And most importantly, build it around the person you want to become. Remember, success doesn't come from giant actions done once in a while. It comes from small, smart habits done every day. So ask yourself, what's one habit I can start today that aligns with the person I want to be tomorrow? Because when you build habits that stick, success doesn't just become possible, it becomes inevitable. Thank you. Hello again and welcome to part 3 of Small Habits, Big Success. So far we've talked about the power of small habits and how to build them in a way that sticks. But now we arrive at one of the most important and most challenging parts of this journey: staying consistent even when life throws distractions, stress, and setbacks your way. Let's be honest, starting a habit is exciting. Sticking with it is the real test. We all begin with good intentions. We start the workout plan. We begin journaling. We meditate for a few days. But then what happens? Life. You get busy. You feel tired. You don't feel motivated. Or maybe you just miss a day. Then two. Then suddenly the habit is gone. Sound familiar? This is why most people fail. Not because they don't want change, but because they haven't prepared for the obstacles that will inevitably show up. The truth is, even the best habits will face resistance. So the key isn't avoiding failure. It's knowing how to bounce back. Let's talk about 3 major obstacles that break habits and how to overcome them. Obstacle 1. I don't have time. This is the #1 excuse. And let's be real, life is busy. But here's the truth. You don't need more time, you need less friction. Most people try to do too much too soon. They say, I'm going to work out an hour a day. But when the day gets packed, guess what? That hour never happens. Here's the fix. Shrink the habit. If you're too busy for a 30-minute workout, do 5 minutes. If you're too tired to write a whole page, write 1 sentence. Consistency beats intensity. 5 minutes every day is better than 0 minutes for a week. What matters is not how long you do it, it's that you do it. Obstacle 2. I don't feel motivated. Let me clear something up. Motivation is a myth, at least the way we often use it. We think we need to feel good to take action, but in reality, action leads to motivation, not the other way around. Think about it. How many times have you said, I don't feel like going for a walk, but then you go anyway, and by the end you feel great? Here's the trick. Don't wait to feel motivated. Just start, even for 60 seconds. Use what's called the 2-minute rule. If you don't feel like doing the habit, tell yourself, I'll just do 2 minutes. Often once you start, you'll keep going. But even if you stop after 2 minutes, you've won, because you kept the chain going. You showed up, and showing up is the secret to long-term success. Obstacle 3. I messed up. I might as well quit. This is the mindset that destroys more habits than anything else. You miss a workout, you eat junk food, you forget to read, and then the voice in your head says, well, you ruined the streak. Might as well give up. But listen, missing once is a slip-up. Quitting is a decision. The best performers, the most successful people, they mess up too. The difference? They don't let one bad day become a bad week. Here's a simple rule. Never miss twice. If you miss one day, fine. It happens. Life isn't perfect, but make it your mission to get back on track the very next day. Reset, realign, restart. Because success isn't about never falling. It's about how fast you get back up. Now, let's talk about 2 powerful tools to stay consistent even when it's hard. Tool 1. Accountability. Tell someone what you're doing. Join a group. Share your goal with a friend. Use a habit tracker that gives you a visual reminder of your progress. When others are watching or when you're watching yourself, you're more likely to follow through. Tool 2. Identity reminders. Remind yourself why you started. You're not just someone who wants to run. You're becoming a runner. You're not someone trying to read more. You're a reader. You're not someone trying to eat healthy. You're someone who takes care of their body. Tie your habit to your identity, because when it's who you are, it becomes harder to walk away. So let me leave you with this. There will be days when you feel tired, distracted, unmotivated. There will be days you fail, fall short, or forget. That's okay. What matters most is this. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for persistence. Because the people who succeed long-term are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who never stop getting back up. So keep showing up. Keep taking small steps. Keep trusting the process. Because lasting success doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being consistent. Thank you. We've talked about how small habits are the true building blocks of success. We've learned how to create habits that stick. We've faced the challenges of staying consistent. Now, in part 4, we bring it all together. Because small habits on their own are powerful. But when you connect them into a bigger system, something even more powerful happens. They stop being tasks, and they become a way of life. Let's talk about turning your habits into systems for success. What's the difference between goals and systems? A goal is the result you want. A system is the process that gets you there. If your goal is to write a book, your system is writing 300 words every day. If your goal is to lose weight, your system is planning meals, walking after dinner, and drinking more water. If your goal is to grow your business, your system might be reaching out to 5 new clients every week. Goals give you direction. Systems keep you moving. And here's the thing. Winners and losers often have the same goals. Both want success, health, happiness. But the ones who succeed are the ones who commit to the system. The habits that work quietly in the background, every single day. So if you want to achieve lasting success, don't just set goals, build systems. Step 1. Design your lifestyle around small, repeatable wins. Think of success not as a finish line, but as a rhythm, a pattern of daily behaviors. You don't need a massive morning routine or a complicated checklist. You just need a few small actions that happen every day, without fail. Here's an example. Let's say your vision is to become someone who is healthy, focused, and productive. Your personal system might include drinking a glass of water right after waking up, moving your body for 15 minutes, planning your top 3 priorities for the day, Reading 5 pages of a nonfiction book before bed. None of these things take a huge amount of time, but done daily they stack up, and over weeks and months they create a version of you that's stronger, sharper, and more successful. Step 2. Track your habits and tweak your system. Systems aren't static. Life changes. Routines get disrupted, and that's okay. What matters is reviewing and adjusting as you go. Ask yourself, which habits are helping me grow? Which ones are holding me back? What can I simplify? Eliminate or automate. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. What gets measured, gets managed. Keep a habit tracker. Reflect weekly. Celebrate progress. Even 1% improvements matter. Step 3. Build your environment to support your system. Your surroundings shape your behavior more than you think. If your system for success involves healthy eating, don't rely on willpower. Fill your kitchen with good choices. If your system involves more reading, put books in visible places, next to your bed, on your desk, even in your bag. Make the good habits easier to do, and the bad ones harder to access. Remember, your environment should work for you, not against you. Step 4. Think long-term. Become the person, not just chase the result. This is the heart of it all. When you commit to small daily habits, and you build them into systems, something amazing happens. You stop chasing success. You start becoming someone who lives it. You're not just someone who works out. You're someone who prioritizes health. You're not just someone who writes a few pages. You're a creator. You're not just someone who saves money. You're financially wise. Identity drives behavior. Behavior reinforces identity. It's a loop, and once it starts, it grows stronger with every choice you make. Real success doesn't come from willpower. It comes from structure. You don't have to force yourself to be great. You just need to build a system that makes greatness your default path. Think of small habits as seeds. When you plant them in the right system, nurtured by time, consistency, and intention, they grow into something greater than you imagined. Success becomes a byproduct of your lifestyle, not a one-time achievement. So let me leave you with this. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You don't need to be the most talented, the most disciplined, or the most motivated. What you need is this: a few good habits, a simple system, and a belief that small steps, done daily, lead to big things. Your future isn't built in a day. It's built in the quiet, consistent choices you make when no one's watching. Small habits, big success. That's the secret of lasting success. Thank you. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with one powerful truth. Success isn't one giant leap. It's 1,000 tiny steps in the right direction. You don't need to wait for a new year, a perfect plan, or the right moment. You already have everything you need. The ability to take small, intentional action, starting today. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you're becoming. And when you choose progress over perfection, consistency over intensity, and systems over scattered effort, you're building a life of purpose, growth, and lasting success. So I invite you now, start small, stay steady, and trust the process, because it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, again and again, so success becomes who you are. Small habits, big success. That's not just the secret, that's your future. Thank you, and keep going. Your best self is built one small habit at a time.